If there's one thing I know about rejection, it's that it hurts. When I was rejected from Cambridge at the age of 17, I felt like my world stopped. What I didn't know then was that my relationship with rejection was only just beginning. And while it's been a bumpy ride, you wouldn't necessarily think that looking at a working life that's included a decade on trading floors in the City of London, followed by a switch to a new career. What you won't see are the 11 or so consecutive interviews that I didn't receive an offer from, nor the redundancies I've faced. Over time, I've come to the realization that rejection is simply the byproduct of a life fully lived, because you have to take chances, and chances are by definition uncertain, while the alternative is frankly no alternative at all. This video is about two things. Firstly, to process rejection in a healthy way, and two, to know that you're definitely not alone. After all, Walt Disney got fired early on in his career for not being creative enough, while J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter got rejected by the first 12 publishers. See it. So let's roll the intro and get right into it. A few years back I was holding interviews for one position and there were two absolutely amazing candidates. Perfect in every way, I couldn't make a bad decision. I did have to make a decision though, and so I had a tricky phone call to make. The person who didn't get the role took it well, but it haunted me for a good few weeks. I couldn't figure out why until I remembered a time shortly after I graduated when I went for an interview. And I didn't get the role, and the interviewer spent a long time with me on the phone afterwards giving me feedback. Essentially saying that I'd answered really well, the evidence I gave was really strong, but that I'd just missed out closely to one other candidate on the day in one area. All I heard, however, was that I hadn't got the job, and all I felt was that I hadn't been good enough. In psychology, the way we explain things to ourselves is called our explanatory style. It's what leads us to interpret rejection in a specific way, perhaps either as, I haven't got the job but I was close so I just need to stick at it, or I'm not good enough, this is never going to happen. Now the great thing is, we're in control of our explanatory style, and there's a tool that can help identify and navigate around things that might otherwise scramble our explanatory styles. Now I've linked to it in the description box below, it's freely accessible. You can use it, like me here, to identify and reflect on situations. When we're rejected, it's really important to learn the right lessons, because learning the wrong ones can move us further away from our goals. Secondly, define success in a way that works for you. Now, in 1983, a talented young guitarist got ejected from his band and he was angry, upset and confused. He resolved to create a new band that would grow so successful that his old bandmates would forever regret their decision. He set that band up, and within a couple of years he got a record deal, and to this day he's sold over 35 million records. In a television interview some 20 years later, he was asked about his success and he grew emotional. He admitted that he didn't feel successful at all, he still felt like the guy who got chucked off of Metallica. And that's the band that sold over 120 million records. Now I remember watching that interview and feeling absolutely crushed for him. He'd made his definition of success dependent on something out of his control. And he couldn't escape his definition of success despite being one of the most loved and influential guitarists of the 20th century. It's easy to think, well, I'd never fall into that trap, but we are human. Define success in a way that you have some control over it. So success this week might be sending off 2 really strong applications, as opposed to landing an internship at the UN. Success needn't be joining NASA, it could be to expand society's understanding of the universe. Connecting our idea of success to something we have some control over and that truly matters to us gives us the very best chance of being successful. Thirdly, identify a support network before you need one. Build trusting friendships and find mentors, perhaps through UCL's own alumni platform, where you can get diverse and helpful perspectives from people who won't stand by as our explanatory styles lead us to unhelpful conclusions or allow us to define success in unhelpful ways. Now, professional careers coaches like me can also help. And the irony is that perhaps we feel least like talking when we most need to. But there are people out there who want to help and who can help, and I've included some links in the description box below for that. To conclude, by posing rejection as something that is inevitable, painful, yet a positive feature of a life fully lived, that we don't see it as something to be avoided or feared. Now, I'd love to know your thoughts on rejection, so please include them in the comment section down below. I'm going to be looking at those. even if it's simply to tell me you know which guitarist I was talking about. Please feel free to send this video to whoever you think would benefit from it, like, share it as you see fit. And for any careers question that you might have, please email me at careers.marketing@ucl.ac.uk. The question might well feature in the next Q&A video. That's it from me for this week. I'll see you next time.